Alright. Gotta find a game to play for VR adventure. Let's see. What's in the store? Rec center. Is that like exercise or something? Oh! It's a movie theater. That's cool. Zack Snyder's Justice League. What's that? Oh! Why was that so long? It didn't need to be that long. Why was it so long? I need to tell someone. I need to tell them. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the will to do it. Wait, wrong movie. I need to go back. I just need to go back. I need to go back to Movie Snobs. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Movie Snobs. My name's Karen Blenton, and today I'll be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. And just as a point of reference, I usually watch movies a few times before reviewing it. However, it is 4 hours long. I already watched it once, I'm good. It is ingrained in my memory forever. It was actually so long, I actually wrote some of this script while I was watching it. So, you know, just as an excuse if I do terrible. So let's start with why this movie exists. So during post-production of Justice League, Zack Snyder had a tragedy occur in his life with the death of his daughter, and left production to grieve. And the show must go on according to Warner Brothers, so they brought in Joss Whedon, the guy who directed the Avengers movies. A lot of what Snyder wanted to do was cut from the final cut, and they had to do a lot of reshoots to do what Whedon wanted to do. The movie came out in 2018, and the final production bombed in the box office, and was considered a total failure, and according to rumors from cast and production crew, Whedon was extremely abusive to them. Then, 3 years later, Zack Snyder's Justice League was released on HBO Max. Now, comparing these two financially will be incredibly hard due to the state of the world thanks to COVID. Before, you could just check the profits from the movie tickets sold, but now, since theaters are closed, it's a little harder to measure from previous movies. I will say, I am shocked that HBO didn't charge for this movie on their streaming service, similar to how Disney charges for their streaming service and then charges you to watch a movie early. Movies like Mulan and Raya and The Last Dragon. To me, this business practice is terrible. We are already paying for the streaming service, so the fact that we have to pay more for a movie that will come out on the platform for free is just a little bit on the despicable side and greedy, if you ask me. Especially since Disney just increased the price of their streaming service. Granted, it was only by $1, but that does add up, including if you buy these early watches of the movie. So, good for you, HBO, for just letting the movie be released and only require people to pay for the streaming service. So, in terms of measurement, this is going to be a tricky one. You can do the tried and true method of views, or even go with the way that Netflix measured their success with The Witcher, seeing how many people signed up just to watch it. It was a crazy amount. But I look forward to seeing these numbers and see how they do compared to the other DC movies and even the Avenger movies. Now, let's talk about the cast. Our cast of heroes includes Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Ben Affleck as Batman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, Ezra Miller as The Flash, and Henry Cavill as the non-CGI faced Superman. I still agree with this casting choice in that the characters fit them all so well. Thanks to the absurd length of this movie, you get a lot more development with Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman. Batman and Wonder Woman take a side seat, but I kind of liked how this was released, all things considered. Now that Wonder Woman 1984, and Aquaman were released before this movie, there was a lot you can actually know about these characters. It's insane how they just skipped a lot of their character development just because of the release time. Now, there were a few times where in the movies I kind of stopped and went, oh, that's right, they would have needed to explain this. Because overall, this movie was supposed to come out before those, so it kind of needed some explaining, but it wasn't anything terrible. So what's this movie all about? Well, Earth is being attacked by an evil alien named Steppenwolf, as he tries to claim mother boxes to destroy the planet. This time, Steppenwolf works for Darkseid, and we actually get to see Darkseid. Although he's not voiced by Weird Al Yankovic, so, I mean, that's a little disappointing. But hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Ah, yes, the great singer of song parodies. If only I was half as evil to earn a living by making songwriters look like fools. Diabolical!
These mother boxes essentially allow for the planet to be terraformed and anyone that survives to turn into a parademon. So Batman and Wonder Woman decide to form a team and combat this by forming a league. That's the main idea of this movie. And we get a lot of development and character action that really show off who they are. We get the individual story of each of them. Wonder Woman saves a group of people from a bomb, Aquaman and how he is comfortable in water and land, and how he protects an entire village of people when they need food. Then the Flash with how his speed can shatter glass, destroy concrete, rip apart his shoes, and how he can grab a person out of the air and put her down gently without destroying her. We also get to see how Cyborg experiments with his new powers to fly and hack literally anything, which in my opinion is a bit concerning because he hacks a bank account and gives a woman a ton of money, meaning that he can control money all over the world and can make the richest man poor and the poorest man rich. And speaking of that, he could actually take away Batman's superpower. But this is a terrifying thing to think about. Although, to be fair, his powers are nothing compared to the rest of them, considering what they've done before. So, let's talk about what's different from this movie and the theatrical version, aside from what I've already mentioned. The editing was done differently, and I honestly love the new version of it. A lot of things were darkened when needed, and we got to actually see Darkseid. We also got to see a lot more of the characters, which I really like, since the movie, when it was supposed to be released, hadn't really touched on any of their backstories. And now we get to see some quirks they have. And we also get to see how their morals align and what kind of a hero they are. We also get to see the grieving process of Lois and Ma Kent. I'm calling her Ma. I refuse to call her by her first name. That was a stupid point in the last movie, and I refuse to acknowledge it. We also get to see the interrogation process of Steppenwolf and how he finds the other boxes. And that does bring up a question. He has a little spider thing that can just go into people's minds and pull up what they're thinking, so like the mother box location. So why does he bother even asking him? Not just slap that bad boy right away. Oh, and speaking of Steppenwolf, his redesign is so much better and enthralling than his original design. He now has moving armor and more fingers and looks much more alien, which I really like. We also get more of a motivation for his actions instead of "grr, monster, must destroy planet," and say mother a lot and make the audience uncomfortable with that word. And actually show that he did something to upset Darkseid and is now trying to make up for it. We also learn about the anti-life equation. That's right, kids, math kills. Oh, and speaking of kids, this movie is not for them. It actually has an R rating, with tons of blood pouring out of everyone like they were in a Tarantino movie, and the F word being dropped every now and then. I don't think Snyder knows how much blood the average person has, but anyways, this is where the spoiler-free stuff ends, so if you want to watch this movie and not have anything spoiled, click away now. Gone? Cool. So everything from here on out will have to do with the final 2 hours of the movie and how things changed and how I really enjoyed it. So with spoilers, we get to know why Superman behaves the way he does when he comes back to life. Turns out there is a future where Superman turns evil and he serves Darkseid, all thanks to Lois dying. This is probably a reference to the Injustice comics where Superman starts killing criminals, but this time he just kills to conquer the world for Darkseid. When they use the Flash's speed to supercharge Superman's ship to bring him back to life, the machine says the future is rooted in the present, meaning that the evil Superman from the future is now a part of the current Superman. So that explains why he beats up the League. Then we get one of the oddest things in the movie, Martian Manhunter. He first shows up disguised as Ma Kent and convinces Lois to stop being sad about Superman's death. Now, my issue with this is that Lois talks to Ma Kent again, and they never talk about how Lois got out of her slump thanks to her. Or that Bruce bought the bank that got her farm to give it back to the Kents. Like, how does that not come up at all? Thanks, mother-in-law, for getting me out of this slump, or thanks, friend of my son, for buying an entire bank so that I can have my house back. But how did you know I was in debt trouble? I never told literally anyone. Like, how does that not get immediately called out? But we do get a nice teaser for more Martian Manhunter stuff, so I'm very excited for that. Now, we get to the end of the movie. This ending was so much more satisfying. Flash is trying to supercharge Cyborg so they can hack into the mother box and stop them from forming the genocide machine. But they don't do it in time, and the world ends. That is, until Flash runs back in time, giving us a hint at Flashpoint. So, with him running back in time, he saves the world and gets Cyborg in, hacking the box, and getting Superman to tear them apart. After that, they beat up Steppenwolf before decapitating him and sending him back to Darkseid through a boom tube. A much better ending than Parademon smelling his fear and eating him in a boom tube. That was so dumb. And then we get a closing scene where we get more future movie stuff. Apparently Jared Leto comes back as a Joker, and he's arguably the worst Joker out there. But he comes back, and he is apparently the key to fixing the disaster Earth and putting it back in order and save Lois and prevent Superman from becoming evil. How does this all work? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why not just replace him? Like, he is the worst of the worst Jokers. There are award-winning Jokers that are still alive and kicking that you could have used, but no, you had to go with him. But anyways, what did I think about this movie? Well, I really enjoyed it. Way more than the original, way more than I thought I was going to, way more than any DC movie, and arguably I actually like this better than Infinity War and Endgame and all the other Avengers movies. Zack Snyder did make a good Batman vs. Superman. That is a given. But boy, did he make a really good Justice League. My only real complaint is the length. There were a few scenes here and there that I would have cut. Apparently, if this was in theaters, there was supposed to be a 10-minute intervention in the middle so you could get food and go to the bathroom. This movie is so long, and I don't think it'd be watchable in any other format except at-home viewing, where you can pause it, go to the bathroom, and get food at your own leisure. So they did also cut a lot of the funny haha moments I just hated. They had too many quips, and they got rid of them, and I applaud that. That was awesome. This is gritty. It was in a good gritty way, not like super bad like they did with Batman vs. Superman. But anyways, I don't know what's going to happen in the future for this, because James Patterson's taking over for Batman in the next movie. So is he supposed to be young Bruce and Ben Affleck's supposed to be the old one? Ben Affleck, you make a great Batman. Just get rid of the voice modulator. I never really liked that. So this movie's kind of up in the air. Are they going to divert and do a Snyder parallel universe to the disaster one that they're doing with the reboot? Or are they just going to completely cancel Snyder's dream? So when I left Movie Snobs, I told everyone to see Batman vs. Superman. Not because it was good, but because it was so bad that it was good. Similar to Tommy Wiseau's The Room. And when I saw Justice League 3 years ago, it wasn't even so bad that it was good. It was just bad. But this version has definitely redeemed it and the entire DCMU. So you can watch on HBO Max for $15 for 1 month. And if you like the platform, keep subscribing. That's fine. If you don't, just watch this movie for $15. That's cheaper than a movie ticket and food. So just watch it and then let your subscription die. You can even watch the rest of the stuff on the platform. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, I really recommend seeing it. So it is going to be a bummer that I'll never get to see this in theaters. I would love to see it on the big screen, the big fight scenes, all the fight scenes. There are so many. But what did you guys think? Love it or hate it? Did you prefer this version or the theatrical one? Why don't you let me know by tweeting me at ZTVGoofingOff, and make sure you use that all-important hashtag, MovieSobs. Until next time, I've been Karen Blenton, and I'll see you guys at the theaters. Well, once this is all over with COVID. So really, I'll be seeing you on the couch to watch it on Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock. There's a lot of streaming service I've noticed. But anyways, bye.